Hello everyone, my name is Roxanne Carmel with the matrix number of BM25110046 and I'm currently a first year medical student at University Malaysia Sabah UMS. So today I will be presenting on hematology, which is the branch of medicine that studies blood, its component and disease that affect it. Blood is fascinating because it involved in almost every system in the body. It delivers oxygen and nutrients, removes metabolic waste, protects us from infections, and prevents excessive bleeding. Because of this wide-ranging role, any disorder of blood can affect the entire body, which is why hematology is such an important medical field. So, in this presentation, I will guide you through the anatomy and physiology of the hematologic system, explain the biochemical aspect of blood, discuss leukemia as example of blood disorder, and finally highlight major advances in hematology including the contributions of Colin Steiner. So let us begin by understanding the structure because structure forms the foundation for function. So, from an anatomical perspective, blood consists of plasma and form elements which includes red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Each component has a specific role. Red blood cells transport oxygen, white blood cells defend against infection, and platelets help prevent bleeding. So these cells are primarily produced in the bone marrow, specifically in the red marrow found in flat bones such as the pelvis, ribs, and sternum. The liver also plays an important supporting role. It produces plasma proteins such as clotting factors and help remove old or damaged blood cells from circulation. During fetal life, the liver even functions as a site of blood cell production. So, by understanding where blood cells come from and how they are organized, we can now move on to how these structures work together, which brings us to the physiology. Now that we understand the anatomy, we can explore how the hematologic system functions as a whole. Blood performs several essential psychological functions. It transports oxygen, nutrients, and hormones, remove waste products, help regulate pH and body temperature, and provide immune protection. It also maintains hemostasis through platelets and clotting factors to prevent excessive bleeding. One of the most important physiological processes in hematology is hematopoiesis, which refers to the continuous production of blood cells in the bone marrow. This process is tightly regulated. For example, erythropoietin produced by the kidneys stimulates red blood cell production, and when oxygen levels are low, thrombopoietin regulates platelet production, while colony stimulating factors guide the development of white blood cells. White blood cells play a key role in immune defense. Neutrophils act rapidly against bacterial infections. Monocytes differentiate into macrophages to remove pathogens and debris, and lymphocytes coordinate adaptive immunity through T cells and B cells. And when the psychological processes are disrupted, conditions such as anemia, immunodeficiency, or bleeding disorders can occur. And to understand why this disruption happened, we need to look deeper, which is at the molecular level, which leads us to the biochemistry. At the biochemical level, blood is not just cells but a complex system of molecules. A key example is hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells responsible for oxygen transport. Hemoglobin binds oxygen in the lungs and released in tissues depending on factors such as pH, carbon dioxide levels, and 2,3 by phosphoglycerate. And this biochemical regulation ensures that oxygen is delivered efficiently to tissues that need it most. Clinical biochemistry plays an important role in diagnosing blood disorders. Tests such as the complete blood count, hemoglobin electrophoresis, and iron studies allow clinicians to detect abnormalities in blood cell number, structure, or function. And understanding this biochemical mechanism help bridge anatomy and physiology with real clinical practice. And these connections become especially clear when we examine blood disease such as leukemia. Leukemia is a malignancy of the blood-forming tissues, primarily affecting the bone marrow, and in leukemia, abnormal white blood cells proliferate uncontrollably and crowd out normal blood cells. As a result, patients may develop anemia due to reduced red blood cells, frequent infections due to dysfunctional red blood cells, and also bleeding tendency due to the low platelet counts. Leukemia is often caused by genetic mutation that disrupt normal cells division and differentiation. Treatment options include chemotherapy, targeted therapy, and stem cell or bone marrow transplantation, which aim to restore healthy blood cell production. And this disease clearly demonstrate how disruption in structure, function, and molecular regulation can lead to several clinical consequences, highlighting the importance of hematology in patient care. One of the most significant advances in hematology was made by Carl Landsteiner, who discovered the ABO blood group system. His work explained why some blood transfusions were successful while others were fatal or fell. Later, the discovery of the rhesus factor further improved transfusion safety and reduced complications in pregnancy, such as hemolytic disease of the newborn. And these discoveries transform medicine by making blood transfusion safe and reliable, and they laid the foundation for immunohematology, prenatal care, and transplantation medicine. And even today, blood typing remains a fundamental practice worldwide. Landsteiner's work reminds us that hematology is not only a scientific discipline but also a field that directly saves life. So, in conclusion, hematology integrates anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and clinical medicine. Blood is more than just a circulating fluid. It is the connecting thread that supports and coordinates all body systems. And by understanding how blood is formed, how it functions, and how disease disrupts its balance, we gain valuable insight into both health and disease. Thank you for your attention. And this is the references. I hope this presentation has given you a deeper appreciation for the science and clinical importance of hematology. Thank you.